just to make a question on the celebration. Recently, we have seen the Malawi president saying we don't have the capacity, not only maybe on demonstrations, but in terms of how to do their work. At times, they are saying we don't have enough resources. So, as we speak now, there's a number of issues still being investigated. You can talk a lot of stories. Now, we wanted to know as a party, what is it you are doing to make sure that you safeguard your properties? Because this is not the first time. We have seen a number of your properties being bombing. We had the issues of takers here. What is it you are doing to safeguard your properties? Thank you.
Good morning, I'm General Mande. I have two questions from Voice of the The first one is with regards to the standard rate results. You say, for instance, if the results are not notified, then there will be an action taken. I just wanted some sort of clarity. Is there going to be a much of a demonstration, or maybe when you in court to get an injunction? I just wanted some clarity. What is the lawyer going to do? And then secondly, on the Atlanta incident, the cold storage incident, it might be very difficult for you to give us the real value currently because maybe an assessment must be done. But then from the capital investment, I don't know how much are we talking about in terms of the money that we invested in the cold storage, assuming it's all paid, how much are we talking about the money that we invested in?
Thank you very much, colleagues. Thanks, members of the press. Right to security. Indeed, it is a very important aspect that every Malawian has right to security. Unfortunately, you've seen the standards of our security in the country. Paramount is members of the police service to assist in internal security for everyone. Security for everyone has to be provided. You've seen the standards that we have been receiving in terms of security lately. It has been demonstrated to us when people were on the streets where they could not secure us, everybody else who were demanding for their rights and freedom in this nation through other demos that were prescribed. Security has been one of those areas that everybody is talking about. We've talked about the rule of law. Our President, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, has pointed out the rule of law. It is no secret at all that the ones that are gaining and secure in this country are those who belong to a party. We've seen it when everybody uses illegal number plates, but prescribing to the president currently and or any other mark that depicts the current party. Police is unable to control or guard against any illegal movements, vehicles, property, and even personnel, that they have been allowed to do as much as they can to harass people in the streets, to harass anybody, feeling very mighty that no person of the police would touch them. In other words, they are untouchables. That we have seen, we have experienced, and property that we belongs to the opposition has been earmarked for destruction. We've seen our regional offices being ransacked. We've seen today my personal property has been petrol-bombed. We've seen colleagues' properties, quite a number. The director of youth residence in Doha was petrol-bombed, and many others. This is our cry. We have talked to the members of the police force. They have not come forward. Today, we are left unsecured. That is why we're fighting for such rights. That is why Malawi Congress Party is also fighting in courts on the electoral issue to bring about such change. Security should be provided to everyone. On the issue of international community being notified, it was no secret when one of its own of the international community were in these premises interacting with our president, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera. The American ambassador was here, and she saw the unrightful issues of insecurity, whereby the tear-gassed innocent people in a building. So the international community knows our pleas. They know that we are under such circumstances. We will continue to raise alarms to all the community around. We will look at issues that mark us to such incidences. We will carry on. The world knows what Malawi is going through as of now. There are cries out there, some that are unseen, but we'll make sure that everybody looks at these issues for the prevention. But as my Secretary General has reiterated to say, the days are numbered. So sooner or later, we will have to be brave and encounter such problems. Sooner or later, Malawi will have its freedom and security will be provided for every citizen of this country. Well, the police not having enough resources, that's what they say. But provision of security to those who are able to support the incumbent party and government is getting 100% support. You've seen those who do minor problems just to go in the streets to demonstrate are locked up for months. We've had our colleagues, our members, in custody till even yesterday. They've stayed over a month for simple reasons. You've seen people who merely express themselves through media or social network have been locked up for over 5 days, misdemeanors. But those who are doing big crimes are still lugging on the streets free. So that's where you can see, if they say they don't have capacity, they are telling us they only have capacity to safeguard the ones that are supporting government, and they have no capacity to secure those who are not supporting their sympathizers. So that's a thing that we do not believe. We know the police has capacity enough to secure every Malawian, but they do not want to do so. Well, what is our plan of action for those that are still intimidated, still insecure? That's what we have to brave for. We as politicians, when we are there, some of you think that we are there just to do politics. But when we start doing politics, there are sins behind that we carry. And this is the energy that we have as politicians. We give in our full self. Where we are today, the President, myself, and my colleagues are fighting for freedom of this nation. We will fight on. We will give all our might. We are ready for any consequences that occur to us. Today, every colleague of mine, every member of the party showed such remorse and sadness to the loss of my property this morning. But to them I said, it gives me more courage. I will not look back. For me, it is the fight that is ahead of us for the whole nation and not for myself. I'm ready, as my president has said one time, that he's ready to lose all he is and what he has for the sake of this nation. The same I say today, that I'm ready to lose anything, everything I have. But one thing I must say, do not touch one of us. If you do, we will all rise up. We will come to you and we will get you. We will not go back, we will not resent. We will look forward, as they say, aruta continua. We will fight for this nation for all the freedom it deserves. In all quarters. Today we're talking about education, we're talking about people's wages, we're talking about the rights in many aspects. We're talking about the standard of living of this nation. We're talking about businesses, we're talking about rights to health, we're talking about all aspects that we're looking at. We're talking about prospering together. This is what our fight is based on. We'll continue to fight. And our fight is not baseless. Our fight is not just to put our name that we are fighting. We are fighting for the rights. We had won that election. Today, I would have been the vice president of this country. And we'll fight for our rights. So they will torture us, they will do whatever they want to do to us, but we stand firm. We also are human. As they are human, they depend on their machinery. We, as humans, also have our machinery to defend ourselves. So we'll carry on and see to the best of it. My colleagues are stepping up in security, but our number one security is not the people we engage or the qualified security personnel we engage. Our prime security is the people out there who safeguard us. Somebody asked on the value of damage. I for now would not assess onto how much. And once again, I want to tell you, I'm not bothered of how much I've lost in that scenario today. It is one of those phases that one must go through. We politicians are ready to go through anything. We get arrested, we get harassed, we get robbed, we get tortured, but one day we will rise up and get there as a phoenix will rise up from the ashes. We will be there and secure everybody in this nation. I'll ask my colleagues to add if they have anything. The Vice President of PP is here, my Secretary General, and of course my Director of Women and the Director of Economic Affairs.
Yeah, let me come in first, addressing the question that was asked by the Voice of Livingstone on what are you going to do if nothing is done. We did say in the statement or the Deputy President did say in the statement that we are going to ask Malawians. If we go back a little bit in history, the demonstrations that are taking place currently are not being directed by any political party. It is Malawians feeling the pinch that have taken to the streets. Now, if this injustice, perceived by Malawians as being such, is not addressed, Malawians will decide on what to do. We will not direct them as to what they should do. And let me address a little bit about address the question, what are you going to do to secure your properties? I like that question, because the basic assumption supporting that question is an admission that the TPEX government has failed to provide security, because providing security to private and public property is the responsibility of a responsible government. It shouldn't be upon us to provide security for our private property or our own lives. So I like the question because there is an admission, an indirect admission, that this TPEX government has failed to provide security to its citizens, because first and foremost, we are the citizens of Malawi. Before we are members of any political party, we are Malawians. And let me also address the issue of capacity. The police have said they don't have capacity. I don't think it's a matter of capacity. It's the issue of lack of professionalism. How has the Malawi Defense Force managed to provide peace and order during demonstrations? Do they have do they have enough capacity? Do they have adequate capacity? The answer is no, but they are professional. Yeah. So they are acting within the limits of the capacity that they have. The police can do the same. So their lack of capacity or presence thereof should not be used as an excuse. It is lack of professionalism that is disturbing the delivery of service in as far as the police service is concerned. I think let me stop there and allow others to step in.
I think, yeah, maybe on the issue of Standard 8 selection. One question that has bothered us most is, we look at the results. Does it mean that quality of education is poor in other regions and much higher in other regions? I think that's where I would want to demand that those responsible come in the open and tell us what criteria they have used. As a party, we believe in merit over equity. We believe that any deserving kid, as long as that kid is born Malawian, must be given a chance of that slice of cake of national secondary schools. We believe as a party that where a child is born in should not matter in terms of them accessing what the nation has to offer in terms of national secondary schools. So as a party, equity, we don't believe in that. We believe in meritocracy. But if you also look at the selection this year and ask yourself, if they wanted to use equity, has that been used effectively? If their argument is on equity, you would see that it's not even equity that has been used now. It's beyond that. Equity would have been even much fairer than what has happened now. But we are pushing for merit regardless of where the child is, or which region the child is born in. Thank you.
Ndingoika muchichewa pepani chifukwa timalankhulaso ndi anthu akumudzi tike muchichewa zija timanena zija. Panali funso lakuti kodi muchita chiyani kuti mudziteteze nokha ndi katundu wanu. Funso lokoma kwa basi, chifukwa mfunsolo muli kuvomereza kuti boma ili la TPEX lalephera kupereka chitetezo kwa Malawi. Ine ndimati kuti si ntchito ya munthu payekha kuti apereke chitetezo ku dziko, chifukwa malamulo akulu a dziko lino, constitution, amapereka ufulu wa chitetezo kwa munthu wina aliyense m'Malawi muno. Ndiye kuti udindo wopereka chitetezo umayikidwa m'manja mwa boma. Ndiye ngati boma lulephera kupereka chitetezo, ndiye tizikhala ndi mafunso amene aja oti kodi inuyo muchitapo chani kuti mdziteteze nokha. Ndimafuna kunena kuti nkhani ya chitetezo apolisi akutero kuti iyayi tilibe kuthekera, nkhani si kuchepekedwa kwa kuthekera kuti apolisi sakupereka chitetezo chokwanira. Nkhani ndi kukanika kugwira ntchito mwa ukadaulo, monga mmene amaphunzitsidwira kuma training school. Ndiye chifukwa choti akugwira ntchito mosapota chipani ichi chimene pakadali pano chuchita ukalinde ulinda mpando wa president, nchifukwa chake akanika kupereka chitetezo kwa Malawi wina aliyense. Ndiye ndimati ntero kunena motsindika kuti nkhani ya chitetezoyi si nkhani yakuti apolisi alibe kuthekera, nanga kodi Malawi Defense Forces akwanitsa bwanji kuyikitsa bata ndi mtendere mnthawi imene kuchitika ma demonstration kumene kumakhala anthu ambirimbiri. Kodi iwo ali ndi zambiri zothekera? Ayi, alibenso, ali ndi umphawi wambirimbiri. Koma mwa zochepa zimene ali nazozo akwanitsa kupereka chitetezo, kubweretsa bata ndi mtendere kwa Malawi. Panali funso limene anafunsa a Voice of Livingstonia kuti muchita chani ngati izi zimene mukupempha zokhudzana ndi quota system imene yagwiritsidwa ntchito pakasankhidwe kana sukulu sasintha. Ndimafuna kunena kuti Amalawi eni ananena Vice President kuti Amalawi eni aona chochita. Ndimafuna titero kuti ma demonstration amene akuchitika otsutsana ndi zimene America adalengeza, palibe chipani chimene chimakhala pansi nkuchita plani kuti tichite motere. Amalawi pokwiya akumapita kumsewu kukachita zionetsero. Ndikuti Amalawi omwenso akakhala ndi mkwiyo wokwanira pa nkhani ya quota system achita chotheka kuti iye amene akuwapondereza apereke mayankho. Zomwe kwambiri.
Zomwe kwambiri Vice President, MCP, Vice President Bibi Umasa Secretary General. Mafuna ndichitepo comment pa za capacity zomwezo ya polisi. Nena kuti ena fesiti mayembezera kuti statement imene ngachoke ku police, because that is very dangerous. Ife timakhala mudziko munomo kuyembekezera kuti ndife otetezedwa, timakhala ndi mtendere usana usiku kuti chitetezo chilipo. Ndiye mmene tinamva statement imeneyi kuti apolisi alibe capacity zinatipatsa nkhawa. Komanso monga mwa training yawo statement ngati iyi siyonayi, chifukwa zimakupatsaniso mantha mwina kusadalirika kwa anzathu tazungulidwa ndi mayiko anzathu. Kodi akamamva zinthu ngati zimene zizi aziganiza kuti dziko lathu lili bwanji. Zinthu zina amayenera kuzisunga okha osazitulutsa kunja, kungozidziwa mkati muja kuti pakuti pali vuto, koma osakhala kuti population yonse ya Malawi idziwe kuti polisi yathu ilibe capacity. That is very dangerous. Pa za maphunziro mmene ayendera ma selection a form 1, mmene anenera onse amene alankhula zikubweretsa regionalism, tsankho. Ndiye mdziko mukakhala tsankho anthu amachita pachizungu titonena kuti kuchita lose identity yako. Mwana sangachiteso, sangamve kunyadira kapena to be proud kuti ine ndine Malawi. Ayi, by and by Malawians tikuchita lose identity yathu. We are not proud to be called Malawians. Within Malawi as well as tikatuluka kunja tikuluza identity yathu chifukwa chokuti mwana amene ali chigawo china amaona ngati kuti si Malawi, pamene amene ali chigawo china amachita feel kuti he or she is more Malawian than the other. So we will not allow kuti a Malawi aluze identity yawo ayi, and that breeds laziness komanso lack of patriotism. Chifukwa munthu amachita feel amamva kuti ndilimbikira bwanji ngati ndichita benefit. Mwana ku sukulu wa standard 7 8 ndilimbikira bwanji ma study ngati ndipita ku sukulu. So that we have taken a very dangerous path as leaders amene alipo atenga njira yosakhala bwino imene kupangitsa ulesi, imene kupangitsa umbava, imene kupangitsa umbanda. Andidamva mbuyo mukuti anyamata akulolera kumakwera kunsi kwa track mapita maiko ena as economic refugees. That as parents, that as Malawians, we will not allow. If they have failed, and indeed they have failed, anene ndipo Amalawi saona kale ndipo zanenedwa kale. We need change in Malawi, and that change must come now, not tomorrow. Come now, that change must come, where every Malawian will feel that I'm a Malawian, where every Malawian will work hard. Kale anthu akalemba Malawi ntchito kunja amadziwa kuti ndalemba munthu olimbikira ntchito, but that is no longer the case. Chifukwa choti mitundu ina ikuchitidwa marginalize, ikusalidwa. So that is not good for our nation. Anthu akuona ngati akuchenjera koma sikuchenjera konse. And on violence, let me state that Capitol Hill is in Lilongwe. We have land in Lilongwe. State House is in Lilongwe. Zimene kumaocha zija tili ndi anthu amene apeza minda kunowo, even in villages amzigawo zina. Can we coexist? Chifukwa zikapitirira zimene zizi tiona scenario ya ku Rwanda. Tiyamba utana ndithu pachibale. So as Malawians, as I've already said, we will not allow that. Tentikale anthu mokondana. Chifukwa kuli ma intermarriages anthu akwatirana ama region osiyana siyana. Zikomo kwambiri vipi.
But I must say that even the numbers you're looking at as a nation, these are very sad numbers. There are thousands of students who sit for that examination, and only a handful are picked up to secondary schools. The figures that we see from different national secondary schools have shown us that a lot of preference has been given to certain region. The examples given at the secondary school, where it is in the central region, but you find only about 34 students are from the central region, and over 115 students come from the southern part of Malawi, which is unfair. As the director of women earlier stated, we want a Malawi that belongs to everyone, not based on regionalism. We want everybody to enjoy these facilities. Yes, we understand that these are issues that are also created by the current and incumbent governments. We would want to see education system grow. We don't want to see thousands of our students going to unqualified secondary schools, compromised secondary schools. We would want to see most of the students, when I say most, I'm talking about a good percentage of students going to good schools, secondary schools, and of course carry on with the university colleges. You've talked about the quality of education. That is paramount. That is what Malawi Congress Party and its leadership would want to look at. The standards of education in Malawi is dwindling day in, day out. Malawi Congress Party would want to see the rise in quality of education. At one stage, many of us, including myself, I went to a day government secondary school, but I can guarantee you those who went to private schools would not even match my qualifications at that school. I am challenging. Most went to private schools in my time. I have colleagues of my age who went to private schools. I went to a day government school, not even a national secondary school, a day, where I got better education than those who went to private secondary schools. Today, it's the opposite. People would want to go to private schools for better education other than our conventional secondary schools. So we would want to overturn that system again. We want everybody. If it's a minister's child, must go to a secondary school which is owned by government, not a minister's child, not the CEO's child, not the business personnel's child is going to a private secondary school, and our secondary schools are for only those who cannot afford anything. No, we want our secondary schools to challenge such situations. We will grow this when we soon come into government. Our leader, Dr. Chakwera, is very, very highly interested to safeguard such standards in this country. Not only looking at issues like those, we've seen many aspects, even the fees at secondary schools. Our colleagues, the members of parliament in all the districts, all the constituencies, one thing they're suffering from is people's quest, villagers' quest. Our people in the village whose quest is to ask them to pay school fees at only secondary school. If they cannot afford a secondary school fee, what more when they go to university? So there's no chance for anybody from a village, talk of Nsanje in Maraka, talk of which is your village in Ngoma? No, Ngoma is more civilized. But talk of a typical village where there is no aspects of issues like this. You will not get anybody going to university. I've asked many in the villages how many students. I've gone to rallies. I asked how many students have been, or how many children have been selected to universities here. None. And how will that area grow? Do we want only people who have money to go to university? Is that the choice Malawians want to make? No. We want everybody in this country to access quality education. They must go to secondary schools, they must go to universities, so that in turn they develop their own areas where they come from. This is what Malawi Congress Party will stand for. Fees, exorbitant. Our students are striking because they cannot afford it. They're not striking because they are the ones who are entitled. They're striking on behalf of their parents who cannot afford to give them the school fees. They cannot pay for their university fees. Many are borrowing. People are selling everything they have just to send their children to get quality education. That's not what we want. We want a Malawi where education is affordable, education for all, so that Malawi grows together with the rest of the world. I'm sure that is it.
That was enough. Yeah.
Thank you very much. At this juncture, we've come to the very end of our press briefing today. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much, Your Excellency Vice President, for team that you have. Thank you very much, the media team, for honoring our invitation each and every time that we make a request that may come and cover our functions. At this hour, we are called Honorable Mawala, close with the word of prayer. Thank you.
Ambuye nakufusani bamba cho mukhenafe mukhena tsogolo wathu mulungu takuona mukhanafe tamvanso zimene yalankhula Yehova vice president zokhudza umudziko likuyendera msautso umene amalaya adutsamo koma ambuye ife chiyembekezo chathu ndi inuyo chifukwa muli ndi mawu Yehova mulankhula Yeremiya 29:11 mukuti ndili malingaliro abwino kwa inu malingaliro okupatsani inu adzukulu mchiyembekezo tsogolo labwino amene kudziwa ife pokamba zambo ya mulankhula kuti tsogolo labwino la Malawi likubwera posachedwapa kuti izi tikuona za Ambuye zithe tsankho kuzuzana persecution. Ambuye zafika pa persecution kuno ku Malawi komatu adalipo ena ambuye amtudzu arrogance wochita Farao kupita kana nthawi mtsiku mdamuza lonse la Israeli kuti Aigupto muwaonawo simudzapenyanso ake. Tikudziwa Yehova kuti lipo tsiku la mtendere likudza ndipo Malawi apulumutsidwanso. Khalafeni tisungeni amene akuyenda Ambuye kuchoka pano mwayendetse bwino mwafungatire kuti afike mnapita ku Yehova mu mtendere wanu. Tipatseni Yehova mtendere wanu, chisomo chanu, chifundo chanu mu dzina la Yesu Khristu. Amen. Amen.